Ladies and gentlemen, when Dave Gleeson dreams of Aussie pub rock, he dreams of one band, and that band is Hammers. Northern Rivers Titans Hammers released their second EP yesterday, Kicking Goals. I'm stoked to have Ricky T and Stoney with me. What's up, legends?
Cheers, champ. Hey, mate, how are you?
Pretty good. Hey, so the album came out yesterday. You must be pretty stoked about it.
Yeah, pumped. Yeah, no, she's going all right, mate. I think people seem to like it, you know.
Yeah, it seems to be getting a bit of traction so far.
A little bit to digest. But yeah. Like, started writing it sort of, I guess, bits and pieces out of the back of the last one. But I guess, like it's more, probably the time delay has been more to do with the COVID thing.
Yeah.
And just the fact that we've had to juggle just working out what we're going to do and all the rest of it. But it's been ready for a while. We sort of took our time in the back part of the recording just to make sure that, we had all the stuff down, and then just trying to work out what we were actually going to do to try and market and circulate the recording without being able to talk. You know what I mean?
Yep. And what's the writing process like in Hammers when we're gearing up for EP number 2?
Just write songs and then playing with my mates.
Yeah, sweet. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Guess it all kind of starts with Stoney writing riffs at home.
Yeah.
And then he'll send the riffs through just on like a voice message on on your phone, and we'll listen to it and all vibe on it, and then just get into a room and learn the riffs and just kind of flesh it out in a room, and then just go from there.
There's some pretty epic stories on this EP, starting with old Susie. Is Susie a real person, or is she fictionally based like Batman?
No, Susie's not a real person, but it's actually a funny story because we do have a couple of non-fiction stories in this record, but Susie was actually a track that Fish had written years ago. He'd not written, but he'd had the idea of of Susie the lady and the whole story, and never had the song to put to it. And then I just we had the conversation a couple of times, and there was a couple of riffs that I wrote here and there, and we start sort of jamming those lyrics over it, and then we ended up coming up with this concept and sort of fleshing it out, and the two of us ended up writing the story together, and I just sort of wrote the music to sit under what was there, and it just, I don't know. It's one of those things, mate, it's hard to explain. Like, we're my mate's first band, and I think the music tends to shape itself around that ideology first.
Yeah.
So, like if we're all laughing and having a good time with whatever the idea may be, then it's going to work. If it's not, then it gets put in the bin pretty fucking quick, and then we carry on the next one. It says he's one of those things.
Yeah, that's the thing that I love about Hammers music is the whole hilarious nature behind the tracks, and then you've just got these big monster riffs behind it, and it just works. I think everyone can relate to it in some way, whether you're talking shit around the fire, drinking piss, or what's happening. You can crank it up, and it's happy days. Everyone's dancing.
Yeah, that's the idea, right?
Oh yeah,
that's good. Hey, the legend on the front cover, is he a good friend of yours?
That's actually old Chiefy. He's I met him through one of my old apprentices that used to work for me a couple of years back. He played for the local footy team down where I live there, and I met old Chiefy just through the footy club down there at Coogin, what do you call RSL?
Yeah.
And he's just a funny old bastard. Love him. Loves a beer. Was an ex-fucking footy gun, knew what he was doing. I just used to look at his head and think, fuck me, Dad, you'd be good on a footy card. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Richard Head.
Yeah, Richard Head.
Richard Head.
Yeah. That's I don't know if you picked it up. That's not his real name.
Yeah, Chiefy.
Yeah, Chiefy.
Big old Chiefy.
Chiefy.
Chiefy, you bastard.
You got to mention these hilarious promo videos that you've been doing for a couple of years, whether it's frothing for Dead of Winter or Halloween Hysteria. I think, is it Halloween Hysteria where, Stoney, you were frothing in the bathroom on the floor?
Oh, one of those. Who knows, mate? No one knows.
That was a wild one.
It's just a record of shitness, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Just mistake after
mistake after mistake, mate. They just keep coming.
Must be plenty of people involved. You see them, especially with these new ones.
Yeah.
How do we come up with ideas? We just get on the beers and
Listen, mate.
Pretty much. none of it's scripted. Just get together and drink beer, and whatever shit dribble comes out, you know, hopefully there's a bit of gold in there. So,
well, we started it out like if we're going to be honest about it, which we try not to be honest, you know, you want to tell as many lies as you can. If we're going to be honest about it, generally when we do a film clip or something, we sort of script it and put a bit of work into it, you know, and make it a fucking thing where we're making sure we've got a bit of a pattern and stuff. And Fish, our wild singer, is always keen to do the freestyle thing. And I'm always like, no, mate, you can't fucking do that because you just end up wasting time and fucking around, and it'd be good for fuck all. Anyway, with this thing, we thought, well, fuck it. I just thought we'll just let it go and let it do its thing. And it got a bit weird, you know, like we started recording shit. We got up there and got pissed way early. Especially old Fisher, you can tell in those videos he's having a good time. You know what I mean? He's had a couple of tinnies by, I think it was about 3 o'clock. He was already pissed.
Mannerisms as well. He sold it perfectly with scooting the chair and pulling the jammies up and getting right down low to have a chat. And
that's just him. That's just him being shit faced, to be honest with you.
And his bluey PJs.
His bluey PJs. But no, we just started recording, and it turned out that it was a bit weird. And then we were like, well, I had a chat to the film bloke, and he was sort of like, this is really funny shit, you know. Yeah. If we work with the bloopers and do some stuff, then it's going to work. So we just had a bit more of a conversation about it, and it's basically a medium of everything that was there, with all the laughs and all the fuck ups combined. But it's worked. Like, yeah,
to share all
it is
of
what
it.
it is. Yeah, I can know.
Yeah.
Does everyone get involved with the lyrical side of things, or is that just all Fish's department?
Me and Fish.
Yeah.
Only these two guys, yeah, Fish and Stoney.
Yeah. You do more singing on this one than Home Blokes? I think you did a little bit more singing.
Yeah,
I reckon. Yeah.
Just whatever the song's asking for, mate.
Yeah.
We're just, you know. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, there probably
a bit more on this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Forrester Seville mixed this record.
Yes, he did.
So he's got a pretty impressive catalogue of Carnival and Butterfly Effect and Dead Letter and Dream on Dreamer and The Mark of Cain.
Mm-hmm. He's a lord.
What's it like working with him?
It's amazing, mate. Well, we've been mates since 2004, 2005. He mixed my last band, my band before Helms, full-length album, Tension. He did all that. That's how I met him. So we've been mates since then. He's done a bunch of stuff for me over the years, and I've kind of brought him into the Hammers realm because he just does one of the best rock mixes that's known to any fucking Australian audio engineer ever.
It fucking sounds
I
really
think,
good.
especially in the modern age, you know, he knows what's going on, and for some reason I think he does it in his sleep. I'm pretty convinced he does it in his sleep, but he just manages to mix us as exactly how we need to sound. So
yeah,
as long as we're a partnership between him and myself on the production side of things, I can't imagine using anyone else, mate. He's a lord, you know.
Yeah.
No master.
Sounds great. And you produced this album, Stoney?
Yeah, I did my best, though.
Gave it a fair crack.
Had a whip.
Hey, what's it like? What's it like when Stoney's producing an album?
Yeah, he's a bit of a taskmaster in the studio. Yeah, there you go. Oh man, it's like, you know, he's an amazing musician and a great songwriter.
Oh, thanks, yeah.
So yeah, you kind of demands. Thanks, Bruce. you got to bring your A game when you record with Stoney. He's got a pretty high standard. Yeah, we just want to record world class stuff. So yeah, make sure you practice before you record. Basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's always fun, man. I'm stoked. He pushes me. Yeah.
Okay, so what's your experience being a pub rock growing up, and how do you think it's influenced the style of Hammers?
Pub rock?
Like Aussie pub rock, you mean?
Yeah, Aussie pub rock, sorry.
Well, I don't know if we don't really think about it too much, to be honest with you, man. I think this is the thing. If you're in a band, I don't know, you'll probably Agree, I hope.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, I don't really think about it.
I think if you're in a band and you're doing your thing and it's authentic and whatever, then you are what you are. For some reason between, like, you know, there's an age gap between the youngest and the oldest member in this band. There's about 10 years, but within that 10 years, we've all experienced kind of the same thing. You know, I think, like, we grew up with pretty wild dads, you know, and we saw all different shit in our own way, and it's pretty much all of us have experienced a classic Australian dad within that time frame. And I think, you know, like, whether it's your own dad or your stepdad or whatever it may be, like, you just sort of grew up in the era when it was really, like, the 80s was the last true era of Australia where we didn't give a fuck. And the 90s when everyone started realising, like, okay, hang on a minute, we've done too much to the planet, everyone's depressed and blah, 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 and it's all changed. We're just trying to hold on to that period that might be one of the last periods remembered as proper fun. And I think, you know, when you think about excess and humans generally consuming as much as they can and spending all their money and fucking having a good time and thinking about an endless summer, I guess.
Yeah.
We're trying to just embody that as a band without making too much of an effort. Does that make kind of sense?
Just
Like,
trying to, keep that classic Aussie humour alive and, do it over the top of some big fat riffs and, that's about it. That's kind of the thing.
minimal effort, maximum economy.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah. We're all influenced by different kinds of music, but at the same time, we've all got common ground in music as far as, like, Rage Against the Machine goes, Every Time I Die, The Bronx. We're all fans of bands like that, so it's kind of our common ground. Fish loves his country. You love his stoner rock. I come from, like, a punk kind of background, so it's a bit of a melding ground of all our tastes.
Yeah, you can hear it all coming through.
Yeah.
What do you remember about Cracker Night?
What do I remember?
What do
It
you?
was my fucking birthday, mate.
Is it?
That's the legit truth. I was born on, I'm not going to tell you the year, but I was born on the 10th of June. And every year it was the Queen's birthday weekend. I think that was the 8th of June. So around my birthday, like I was a little, you know, for the first probably 10, 12 years of my life, I was a little Aussie Housing Commission kid. And we just used to do what we could with the fucking whatever we had to have a good time. And Cracker Night for me was always memorable because my fucking old boy, my stepdad was nuts and all of his mates were nuts, and they'd just get a whole bunch of illegal fireworks and start big bonfires, and you go around fucking, you know, collecting all your shit before it happened. And it was always, I don't know, it's just fun. So yeah, that's basically it. Me and Fish got talking about it. He remembers the same sort of shit and experienced a similar sort of thing. So
Fish and Jesus Christ were all hanging out.
yeah, right, champ. But, it was one of those things. I don't know. It's just it sucks that it doesn't exist now because it was really over Easter and Christmas and whatever else. Like, I don't know if it was because it was a bit more of a fucking classic Australian sort of rough and tumble kind of vibe. But I always remember Cracker Night as being the night of the year, not Christmas or Easter or anything else. It was. I don't know. Again, I could be biased because it was my birthday period, but it was definitely just a wild night. Like, and all the dads and uncles used to get shit-faced and be fucking fire and shit going off, and kids would burn their feet in the fire. And I've still got scars on 2 of my toes from me putting my foot in hot coals when I was a grommet on Cracker Night. You know? Yeah, I don't know. That makes sense.
That's a good thing. You know, kids in those days just grew up around what they grew up around, and then they just went out and did their thing. And nowadays it's a bit different, but just that old style of how parents used to be parents, I think sort of comes through in your hilarious lyrics and stuff in the songs as well, you know, and that's why people hold on to it so much, I think.
Yeah, it was a bit looser back then, for sure.
And one way better.
And yeah, it was good fun. Good era to grow up in.
Back when humans were humans, eh?
I guess, yeah.
Not fucking wet sock.
The one of the good songs on this album, which was a beautiful surprise to me, was Last Breath. Having lost my old man recently and going through all that crazy stuff, like that brought me down to my knees. And how did you come about writing that? And was that through some experience that happened?
That's all Fish, mate. Like I orchestrated the music, as far as the stuff behind it goes, but that's all Fish. That was, and to this day, not to discredit anything else that Fish has done as a contribution to Hammers before we came or after we came. I think that some of his most beautiful and authentic work as a writer he's done yet. He wrote that piece as a vocal piece, and I basically just tried to work around what those lyrics were and what it meant to him. It's someone that's close to him that passed on and had a big effect on his family and his loved ones and stuff. And yeah, I agree with you, man. Like when I listen to it, it's one of those ones that sometimes I like it more than everything else by far. And it's
Same.
It's a fucking sick song. Like
Yeah. I remember when he walked into the rehearsal room and sung that for us the first time. I just got chills. Yeah, it was pretty
I got
special
chills.
song.
I got massive chills, man. Hair standing up on the back of my neck when I heard. I had to sit down, and I was like, "You're
I love it.
surprised hearing Fish's voice that soft and delicate, and it was crazy."
Yeah, no, he's you know, when I first come into the Hammers thing as a writer and stuff, trying to work out the best thing to do with Fish and myself as vocalist. Obviously, I had a previous history as a vocalist and stuff, and I really feel like with this new stuff and where we're going in the future, like the voice that he's found between the two of us doing our work together in the last recording and just the new stuff we're doing here and there, he's definitely, you can hear Fish speaking to you in your fucking ear, which is what I've always wanted. Like not like an imitation or a replication of something he's grown up with, but more as exactly what that dude is. And I know as we go into the next record and start writing new stuff, I feel like that dude is going to really shine, and you'll hear more of that sort of stuff where he's a fucking amazing person, and he's got, as you can see if you watch Hammers live, his personality carries our show, and when you hear songs like Last Breath, it's definitely a reflection of exactly the sort of dude that he is as a human, and it shows how authentic the front of the band is. If that makes sense.
That makes heaps of sense. But that's the best thing about a Hammers, about you guys is the live show. It's up here, you know what I mean? And just the way he is at the front of the stage and that fucking green mic, which just zones everybody in, and he starts getting in the crowd and dancing with people, and everyone loves it. There's not one person standing still. Not one.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Fucking
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. One of my favourite frontmen, so...
He is my favourite frontman.
Yeah.
He's a fucking dickhead, let's be honest. But he's the best frontman on the planet.
Best frontman on the planet, 100%. It's true.
He's a weapon. Yeah.
No, we love him, mate.
Can we, how you guys been going in COVID times?
Just sucking each other off as much as we can, mate.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. Just sucking off the heavy tinnies, basically.
Floating through the night like Batman.
We're about a dozen deep at the moment, so
that's okay.
No, mate, we're just been surviving. Like we can't really jam too much, so we just talk and just have a lot of phone sex. Like that's kind of it. Like there's not much else going on with it. Like
lots of dick pics.
Yeah, heaps of, oh mate.
Heaps of them.
Let's not go there. You don't want that on your show. Boulders. No, we're just like...
Well, three of you are like in New South Wales and I'm in Brisbane, so yeah, it's pretty hard to get together and rehearse. We've had one rehearsal all year. So yeah, plenty of dick pics to go around. Yeah, that just keeps us together.
So what's Hammers bringing for the future? Were you still locked down? There's no gigs happening in Brisbane? There's a few going on?
We're just really, I think we're just taking it a step at a time. Like we had some shows booked. We've had to cancel them, obviously. We've released this EP. We're going to try and let it circulate, and hopefully it gathers a bit of traction amongst people that aren't necessarily our direct fans, but maybe our friends of fans, and hopefully can do, because generally when you release a record, you end up touring straight away. Obviously with this situation, we can't. So in one way, it's kind of pretty cool where you can just let your music fester for a little while.
Your music.
Yeah, your music. Yeah, a couple of beers.
Next release.
and just let it do its thing. So I think I've written a bunch of stuff already for the next thing we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're still sort of yet to get through this, and let's just mate, fuck, life's mad, bro. Like with the world, it's a world gone mad. Like who knows what's going on?
Who knows what's going to happen?
All I got in this life is my daughter, my missus, and Ricky T.
That's
You know what I mean?
That's all you need.
That's it. And it's one of those things where.
All right. With that hug, legends. Look
at this.
Check it out.
We'll wrap it up there, fellas. But you enjoy your day down there.
Will do. Thanks for having us, brother.
Get up the tins. Thanks heaps for coming on, man. Much appreciated.
Sweet.
Sick, bro.
Love your work, mate.
See you, boys.
bro. Woo. You.